The opening up of Silk Road. The Silk Road is a modern term referring to a historical network of interlinked trade routes across the Afro-Eurasian landmass that connected East, South, and Western Asia with the Mediterranean and European world, as well as parts of North and East Africa. Extending 4,000 miles, the Silk Road gets its name from the lucrative Chinese silk trade, which began during the Han Dynasty. No single route was taken. Crossing Central Asia, several different branches developed, passing through different oasis settlements. The routes all started from the capital in Chang'an, headed up the Gansu corridor, and reached Dunhuang on the edge of the Taklamakan, where it divided into three: the southern route, central route, and northern route. The three routes spread all over the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, and then extended as far as Pakistan, India, and even Rome. Much of the region, separating China from Europe and Western Asia, is taken up by the Taklamakan Desert, one of the most hostile environments on our planet. On the eastern and western sides of the continent, the civilizations of China and the West developed. The western end of the trade route appears to have developed earlier than the eastern end. The first major step in opening the Silk Road between the East and the West came with the expansion of Alexander the Great's empire into Central Asia. In about 330 BC, he finally conquered the Iranian Empire of Persia, which was then already controlling a large area of the Middle East, extending as far as the Indian kingdoms to the east. In August 329 BC, he founded, at the mouth of the Fergani Valley in Tajikistan, the city of Alexandria Eshati, which later became a milk route. The Greeks remained in Central Asia for the next 3 centuries and continued to expand eastward, especially during the reign of Euthydemus, who extended his control beyond Alexandria Eshati to Sogdiana. There are indications that he may have led expeditions as far as Kashgar in Chinese Turkestan, leading to the first known contacts between China and the West around 200 BC. The eastern end of the route developed rather more slowly. In China, the Warring States period was brought to an end by the Qing state, which unified China to form the Qing dynasty. Before this time, the Xiongnu tribe had been periodically invading the northern borders during the Warring States period with increasing frequency. The northernmost states had been trying to counteract this by building defensive walls to hinder the invaders and to warn of their approach. Under the Qing dynasty, in an attempt to subdue the Xiongnu, a campaign to join these sections of walls was initiated, and the Great Wall was born. When the Qing collapsed in 206 BC, after only 15 years, the unity of China was preserved by the Western Han Dynasty, which continued to construct the wall. During one of their campaigns against the Xiongnu, in the reign of Emperor Wu Di, the Han learnt from some of their prisoners that the Yuezhi had been driven by Xiongnu farther to the west. It was decided to try to link up with these people in order to form an alliance against the Xiongnu. In 138 BC, under the leadership of Jiang Qian, the first attempt in this direction brought back much of interest to the court with information about hitherto unknown states to the west, and about a new, larger breed of horse that could be used to equip the Han cavalry. The emperor was much interested by what they found, and more expeditions were sent out towards the west over the following years. After a few failures, a large expedition managed to obtain some of the so-called heavenly horses which helped transform the Han cavalry. Spurred by their discoveries, the Han missions pushed further westward and may have got as far as Persia. They brought back many objects from these regions, in particular some of religious artwork from the Gandharan culture, and other objects of beauty for the emperor. By this process, the route to the west was opened up. Jiang Qian is still seen by many to be the father of the Silk Road.